On Sunday, the Formula One season began with the first race, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc was in pole position for the race, with Red Bull's Max Verstappen alongside him on the front row. F1 fans, we're back with another video, this time recapping the recent race. Watch this video all the way through to find out what happened. All this started with a stunning pole position in the Bahrain Formula One qualifying on Saturday. Charles Leclerc signalled the return of form for the Italian team Ferrari, defeating world champion Max Verstappen by 0.123 seconds. Leclerc beat the clock with a lap time of 1 minute 30.558 seconds. Spaniard Carlos Sainz settled for third after qualifying as Ferrari looked like the dominant car on the grid. The last 2 years have been very tough for the team, but we knew this year's rules would provide an opportunity for us, said Leclerc after taking his 10th career pole and second at Bahrain. In a tricky qualifying session, he added, "I am very happy today. I was not very happy with my driving." Leclerc led most of the race, only facing a small battle from Verstappen midway through. Max Verstappen had an engine failure and failed to power on, which enabled Leclerc to take the win. Teammate Sergio Perez also experienced engine issues on the penultimate lap and also had to retire. With all the talk in the build-up about the 3-horse total race, one thing's for certain, this season is going to be epic. Ferrari dominated the podium and will surely challenge Mercedes and Red Bull for the rest of the season. Formula One fan, if yes, make sure to smash that like button for helping our new channel and subscribe for awesome content based on Formula One. And with that being said, let's get back to the business. It was a remarkable performance from Kevin Magnussen, who returned to Haas and finished in 5th position on his return, while Guanyu Zhou finished in 10th place on his debut in Formula One, scoring an extra point for Alfa Romeo. McLaren seemed to struggle the most, with Norris and Ricciardo finishing near the back. Bottas had a great qualifying run on Saturday, but fell away back on the first lap due to a bad start. Bottas spent most of his time fighting back through the pack and finished 6th at the end. A settlement between the manufacturer and the FIA over the controversial arrangement of Ferrari's engine in 2019 caused the manufacturer and its customer squads to face 2 very challenging seasons in 2020 and 2021. With its approach to 2022, Ferrari team boss Matteo Binotto said the team was able to close the 25 brake horsepower power gap with Mercedes and Honda, now badged as Red Bull powertrains. In Saturday's qualifying, his drivers and those at Ferrari's customer teams enjoyed strong results. Teams at Haas and Alpine also used the Ferrari power plant and had successful qualifying laps, with Magnussen qualifying 5th and Bottas in 6th. During their first pit stops, Leclerc and Verstappen staged a thrilling wheel-to-wheel battle, changing places 5 times in 2 laps before Leclerc moved ahead. After a safety car period and then reliability issues caused Verstappen to retire, Carlos Sainz was promoted to 2nd after the closing laps were filled with drama. As a result of the failure of the second Red Bull of Sergio Perez at the first corner of the final lap, Mercedes took the final podium place with Lewis Hamilton. Power failure was the big word at the Bahrain Grand Prix, where Pierre Gasly's AlphaTauri was set ablaze as he attempted to escape. The incident occurred on lap 45 after the Frenchman lost control of his vehicle. It was a good thing for Gasly as he was able to run from the burning vehicle. Marshals went over to put out the fire while the safety car was called out on the track. Leclerc fought off a late challenge from Verstappen after the safety car to seal the victory for Ferrari. Both Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez dropped out of the points dramatically at the season opener. After being 2nd behind Leclerc, Verstappen suffered engine failure in the closing stages. Due to the issue, Verstappen had no power and his race dreams went up in smoke. He was quickly overtaken by several cars before he was retired by his team in the pits. During the late stages of the Grand Prix, Sergio Perez, under pressure from Lewis Hamilton, spun out and he could not restart the car, bringing more heartbreak from the Red Bull principal Christian Horner. Perez's failure handed Hamilton the podium, ending a weekend where Mercedes was clearly in the rearview mirror. Hamilton's teammate George Russell finished 4th, but the race was won by Ferrari. With their first win since 2019, they completed a 1-2 to boost their season. As the Scouser dominated the opening weekend of the 2022 season, Leclerc won his 3rd career race. His teammate Sainz finished in 2nd place. The second race of the season, the Saudi Arabia GP, takes place next weekend. Charles Leclerc earned the extra point for the fastest lap of the race. After a year and 3 months away from Formula One, Kevin Magnussen finished 5th in his first race back in the sport, driving the Haas VF22, which he only had 1 day of pre-season training in. Magnussen qualified in 7th place and went on to finish 5th, matching his best ever result for Haas back in 2018. The finish for Haas is the first points the team has scored since the German Grand Prix in 2020, where Grosjean finished 9th. After the race, Magnussen spoke with the RacingNews365.com about the race. "As I said, it feels good to be back in this position," he exclaimed with a smile. "I just want to give a big thank you to the team for getting us into this position. We were the strongest midfield car and I could see the Mercedes for almost all of the race. It was different this time around because of the safety car at the end, so I know that helped." While he hadn't had much time for the physical demands of a Grand Prix, Magnussen told reporters he could tell his fitness wasn't quite there, but he wasn't feeling too much pain afterwards. In response to the question of whether he felt fully fit, he replied, "My neck is stiff, however I was in a better position than I thought I would be. I had worries I would be more tired, but when you're well positioned you gain some energy and I was fine." We hope you enjoyed this brief race recap from Bahrain and plan on seeing you back for more action. Like always, subscribe for more updates and insightful videos.